do jazz funk, but when I started to really let off was when I went into fusion, because then I just used to turn into this animal because I had so much energy to give. So I was mixing the whole styles together, watching, you know, the different styles. If you went to Manchester, you went to Huddersfield, like Ricky, who was kind of my nemesis because we used to wear Adidas t-shirts with Adidas trainers with a roll cap, and when we, you know, meet together, we just look like twins kind of thing, but we'd be dropping the same kind of style, because I had a lot more influences and a lot more kind of, I wouldn't say experience, but I brought in a lot more experience with all the different styles. I could change, if I could see they were holding one style, I can change another, and I knew that would kind of throw them out, and then I'll change back again, then I'll go in, and then I'll just do drop, you know. So it became very psychological because I understood the floor, and that was something that I could bring into most situations. So it was exciting.
And the battling, the real fierce battling, what sort of years do you think were the sort of real...
Certainly in the early years, that, you know, people were battling really up until even the acid jazz days. But, you know, but sometimes for me, I've seen the battling, I've been involved in the battling, and I wanted to kind of change that. So made a conscious effort so that if you battled with someone, you shake their hands afterwards so that they know that, yes, on the floor, but at the end we were friends. So I started to do that. And together with a few people I went to, that even though we got into battle, that everybody knew it was because what we wanted to do was evolve the dance steps, because in the situation in a circle, which a lot of people hate, but when you look at it spiritually, that's where things happen in a circle. Under pressure, you would do sometimes your best dancing. You'd be very creative because you did not want to be, you know, humiliated really. So from that, there was more inspiration going on, and we used to take that, try and remember that, and then try and put it into another situation. Then when you got into another battle, you bring something out, and then you kind of getting asked to do, you know, showcases. Then you could just play and bring all this out when you wanted, but.
Tell us a little bit about when you first started joining, I believe you joined IDJ, or your first sort of experience of performing as such, and also maybe a little bit about those sort of, like you mentioned, the acid jazz days, because obviously that's when that part of the scene maybe spread worldwide.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that period. What was that like?
Going out to acid jazz events, going out to Dingwalls, going out to the Steam Museum, the Cock Happy Doos, you know, with you know, Giles Peterson. You've got to say Janine, who helped put it together. Kev Beadle, Patrick Ford, Sylvester, Simon Mansell. They're very, very exciting. What I found with that, Giles opened it up. He was bringing in bosses. He was bringing in Blue Notes. And he was also with Eddie Peeler, who owned Acid Jazz, BGP, which was Basford Jazz, Giles Peterson. They kind of bring in different influences into the side, into the style. That's why we was getting the John Pattons. That's why we was getting, you know, you might play Miles Davis, or you'll play, you know, something by Max Roach. Then it'll be a jazz funk track, and then maybe a modern track. Suddenly, it became a melting pot of just good quality music. A lot of people, a few people I've spoken to would say, oh, they hated the acid jazz days. But the acid jazz days and the BGP days and the Talking Loud days, they made it worldwide. You know, suddenly acid jazz became the biggest independent label. Bands like, you know, James Taylor Quartet, Brand New Heavies, Jamiroquai, Urban Species, Raw Stylists, and there was just, there was loads more that you'd be seeing, and that really made it something quite special. So for being involved with that made me really hungry to try and do something just on dance tip.
Okay, mate, should we stop at Acid Jazz.
Yep.
We'll talk a little bit about your performance.
Yeah.
In a little bit. Just stop it there, mate. Just a second.